Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video we will be looking at the basic data types you can use in C++, and we will also be learning how to name our variable. Please note that this video is the continuation of tutorial 2. So if you haven't watched tutorial 2, I highly recommend that you go and watch it because it has the foundation of what we will be learning about today. And when you're done with tutorial 2, you can come back to this video. So as you all can see that I have already opened my IDE, which is my dev C++, and I still have the code that we were using on tutorial 2 before I continue and dive deep into the basic types that you can use in C++, the basic data types rather that you can use in C++. I'll start by just explaining this code. What does it do, just to jog your memory. So on our tutorial 2, we coded this code which tells the user that please input your monthly salary, and from the monthly salary of the user we will be able to calculate their annual salary and also calculate their salary in the next 5 years. So let's try to execute and just see it in real life. Compile. Okay, I have to say compile and run. Okay, so let's say I'm the user and I want to know my annual salary, and I also want to know what will be my salary in the next 5 years, and I'm currently getting paid 5,000.89 cents. So I now know my annual salary, which is this one here, and this is how much I will be making in the next 5 years. Okay, so now let's go and let's look at the basic data types that are commonly used in C++, and it's just basic data types. So we have already spoken about float on our tutorial 2. That float is used to hold decimal numbers, numbers like your salary, your annual salary, and so on, any decimal number. And we also have double, which is used to hold decimal numbers also, but double has more capacity than float. That means it can hold a lot more numbers than float. So another data type that we use in C++, it is int. Int is used to hold or store negative and positive whole numbers. E.g., just to make an example, it can be used to store your age, or it can be used to store your year of birth. Yes, it can be used to store your year of birth. Let's say equals to 1998, and let's say maybe the age is 18. You see how it works? It works like this. So we also have char, which is character. It is used to store or hold a characteristic. For example, let's say gender. It can be F, or it can be M, depending on what gender you are. If you are a female, we will use the character F, and if you are a male, we will use the character M. So char is used to hold your characters. Another data type that we normally use in C++ would be your bool. We write it as bool, but it is boolean. So boolean is used when you want to use true or false, if you want to say whether something is true or something is false. Let's say we are looking for people that are older than 18 years old. So we are going to say is older than 18. If we are looking for people who are older than 18 years old, we are going to say true. But if we are looking for people who are not older than 18 years old, we are going to say it is equals to false. So that is how we use our boolean. So the basic data types that we normally use in C++, it is your float and double, which are both used to hold your decimal numbers, but double has more capacity to hold more decimal numbers than float. It is your int, which is used to hold your whole numbers. We have your char, which is used to hold characters, and then we have your bool, which is used to say whether something is true or whether something is false. Okay, so now I want us to look at the rules that go into naming our variables. So the first rule that we have is that you should always name your variable according to their purposes. So here in int, when you can look, I want to know the age of the people that will be registering in my program. So when I'm coding that program or when I'm coding that form, I am going to name my variable as age so that I know next time when I come back to work on that program, so that I know age is used to store the people's age and the year of birth is used to store the year that person was born. Same thing as we did here with our monthly salary. If another person comes and works on my code, they will be able to see ukuthi this variable name here is used for monthly salary, is used to store the monthly salary of the user. But if you just name, let's say here on monthly salary, you just put b b b b b b b, it doesn't make sense. Whoever that will be taking on the project, when they open the code, they won't be able to identify what this BBBBB is used for. You should always make sure that you name your variables according to their purposes. Another thing is that your variables cannot contain any special characters except the underscore, and that is because the special characters or the special signs that are there are operators inside C++, so they cannot be used for any other purpose. Let's say we put our percent has its own meaning already in C++. So if we put, okay, let us comment this out just so I can show you guys, make an example, also comment this one out. So if we use our monthly salary and we use our special sign here, which is our percentage, when we try to run and when we try to compile and run our program, we are going to get an error. That is because this sign, that the special sign that we have put here, it is an operator inside C++. So the only special sign that we can use is underscore. Underscore, we can definitely use it. It is acceptable for one to use it. Let's see. So our program is running because we can use our underscore. You can place your underscore anywhere. It can be in the middle of your words, it can be at the start, it doesn't matter. It can be anywhere, but we cannot use any other special sign or any other special character except the underscore. And then another rule that we have is that your variable names cannot begin with numbers. You cannot begin with numbers in your variable names. Let's see if that's true, if what I'm saying is true. Okay, we have put our 9 at the beginning of our variable name. Let's try to execute and see. You see, what does it say? It says expected unqualified ID before numeric constant. So it expected something, it expected a word or a character, any other thing except the 9. So remember that when you are naming your variables, do not use a number at the beginning. You can use it anyway. You can use it in your middle. Let's do that and see. You can use it in your middle. You can put it in at your end of your variable name. It doesn't matter as long as it is not in the beginning of the variable name. You see, now it can run. Now it runs because it's our numbers are not at the beginning of our variable name. Another thing that we should be on the lookout for is that you cannot use a blank space like this. You cannot write your variable name like this, or you are going to get an error. Let's execute and see. You see, it gives you an error because it's saying it expected an initializer before salary. So it cannot pick up this salary. It cannot pick up this word salary. So that's one thing that you should be on the lookout for. You cannot use blank spaces on your variable names. Another thing that I wanted us to look at is this. If you can look here, okay, let me uncomment this because I want to talk about it. If you can look here what I did with my variable names, monthly salary, you can see that I've written my M with a small letter and I've written my S with a big letter, with a capital letter. This is to show that another name is starting. So it is always advised that when you are writing your variable names, you should always start with a small letter, and then as you write other names, you can use your big capital letter at the start of another word. Just like here, monthly salary with a capital S, annual salary with a capital S and small a, salary in 5 years. As you can see, my first S is in lower character and then my I is in upper character. So it's always advised that each and every time you name your variable, you start with lower character instead of an upper character. So that is it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys how to name your variables before we get into our functions, and before we dive deep into code. I wanted you to get this basics, or I wanted you to have this foundation before we continue. So let us recap what we did. Today we learned about the basics of the basic data types that we use in C++, which is int for whole numbers, double and float, which are used for decimal numbers, char, which is used to store a character, and then we also have bool, which is to determine if something is true or if something is false. And then we also talked about how to name our variables. Yeah, so that is what we spoke about, and that is the end of the video. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so that you may be notified when we post again. Bye.